Hello, a very warm welcome, and today on the Weekend Review, it's like the good old days for Manchester United as Edinson Cavani seals a dramatic late comeback. Well, you were at the game yesterday, and at half-time, are you thinking, oh, here we go again, as in we're going to have an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer conversation on Monday morning?
I knew it before half-time, because the flow of the game, Mason Greenwood missed a chance early on, inside the first 5 minutes, he should have scored. And Southampton were brilliant. James Ward-Prowse and Djenepo were exceptional. They were working extremely hard and putting Man United under pressure. But the flow of the game, not once did I ever think Man U were out of that game. It was a really end-to-end game. It was difficult to call. So
it's one of those at half-time when they're 2-0 down, you're thinking if United get the next goal, then all bets are off.
I said that. I said that the conversation between both managers, Hasenhüttl and Ole, at half-time would have been very similar. Get the next goal in the game. Yeah. If Southampton get it 3-0, game's done.
They're working hard though, Southampton. A lot of energy went into that first half. A lot of squeezing within groups made it difficult for United. United couldn't get their head around why can't we play? That's why, because they work so hard. But in the end, you get tired.
And do you know when you're playing, Mark, as well? Sometimes you play in a game where you scratch your head at half-time and you go, we've played really well today. What's the score? 2-0 down.
2-0 down.
Because one was a set play corner and the other one was a James Ward-Prowse free kick. Yeah. So I know it's too easy to say take the goals out of the game and it's even. But United were well in the game.
They weren't mistakes, were they? They weren't mistakes.
No. There were great pieces of individual play from Southampton.
This is one of the most experienced footballers you could come across, who's played all around the world and on the biggest stage of the World Cup. But he wasn't ready to come on. And that was the one bit that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was really a bit irritated.
Well, I was watching him. Mark, I was watching him warm up. So he went through an extensive warm-up at half-time. And he must have decided then he didn't have his studs on or rubbers on. But he went through a 15-minute warm-up at half-time. So how on earth he weren't ready, I'll never know.
You know what? In his defence, I never, ever played in the same boots that I warmed up in. So I would I would warm up in one pair of boots and play
Why?
Just for the feel of the boot. So I wanted it completely dry and I didn't want it wet at all. So my warm-up boots would stay my warm-up boots and my match boots would stay my match boots.
What, you didn't... What, when you say dry, what, you mean sweat?
No. I don't want them to be wet. I don't want to be...
What, from the grass?
No. When you warm up in a pair of boots, they tend to stretch slightly. I didn't want that with my match boots. They had to be
I never knew. What a diva. Did you have him down as a diva? Can I have a brand new pair of boots on, please? These ones are a little bit wet. Can I have a new pair? These ones are a bit wet, please.
What's the protocol that goes on in that situation with somebody coming on as a sub?
Well, I'm just glad everybody's not having a go at me first up this week. I mean, there are certain component parts you need as a footballer, aren't there? You need a shirt, a pair of shorts, socks, shin pads, and a pair of boots. I think what he'd done was he had a new pair of boots on and took them off and had an older pair. But you can't go on the field without a pair of boots because the law doesn't permit it. So, it was an interesting one, something we don't see every week.
I think that's actually, as a football club, that's something you have to instill at a young age to players that are coming through, under 23s. You have your pads, not your tie-ups because you'll get cramp. Yeah. So you have your socks and your pads and your boots. Everything's on, ready to go, and you put your tie-ups just for when you stand up. Yeah. Surely, otherwise it's a fine.
You must be what you should be desperate to get on. The whole time. I'm here, Gaff. I'm here. Get me on. Get me on.
The thing is, he went through the warm-up at half-time, so he should have been ready. He knew he was coming on.
Sure.
He was putting his dry boots on.
Ah, the dry boots.
Well, listen, it was great impact when he came on. He got obviously the equaliser and the winner before that to get back into the game to make it 2-1. And then suddenly you felt, didn't you, with that? Once that happened, was there a sort of switch in the ground at that stage?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a daft thing to say, but it sort of means a lot to players when you say next goal, the winner. So 2-0 down, it's next goal, the winner. If United get it, they win 3-2. If Southampton get it, you know, they win 3-0 or maybe 3-1 or whatever. But Cavani had a real impact. You know, this is a brilliant ball. Bruno Fernandes didn't have the best game, and they played at the top of a diamond. Interesting that Man United played a diamond, and they'd only done that once before, and they lost against Arsenal. But he was given so much freedom at the end of the game, and that was purely because the Southampton players were absolutely shattered. Every single one of them.
I like the way he's gambled out.
On the move, just on the move.
That's not luck, Dion, is it?
No, absolutely not. He's saying, just in case, I'm going to go into that area, just in case. And he's gambled. Look where he comes from. He goes by 3 players.
It'd be so hard to score that goal, wouldn't it, Dion? Standing still.
Yeah,
you need the momentum through your body.
Correct, yeah. You get across your defender, which he does very naturally anyway. As a centre-forward, if the ball's coming in from the left, you've got to get across your defender. And he does it every single time. Yeah. It's natural for him.
It was terrible for the Southampton players because I was doing the commentary and one of the big screens to the right-hand side had a clock on. Same on the left-hand side. And Hasselhoel kept checking the clock. And it was on about 65 minutes. Next thing he's looked up 20 minutes later, it was on 71. The clock just weren't moving because they were shattered and they were hanging on. They put so much into it because Romeu and Ward-Prowse played in a 2, but United had 4 players in central midfield. They played with a diamond. So the amount of work they'd done, in the end, they were just literally hanging on.
So for the winner, Dion's just described for the equaliser, getting in front of your man, getting across your man, which is exactly what happened with the winner with Cavani.
Yeah, we are going to have a look at this because it's a case of, this is in the last couple of minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And it's a case of actually Man United scheming. On what they're going to do, Dion. Because normally last minute of the game, you think, pump it in the box. Let's see what we can get, knocked down.
There's loads of aspects to this one. You've got Maguire, who speaks to Bruno, and you've got Matic, who speaks to Wan-Bissaka. He says to Wan-Bissaka, go back, stay back. Maguire's speaking to Bruno. I don't know what he's saying, but it must have something to do with the way that they scored this goal.
So what, a pre-planned, something pre-planned?
It must be, because there's too many things happen after this. And Don will run it on slightly. You see where Maguire goes? There's Rashford out there. He's out there for a reason. Marcus Rashford, he's a goal scorer. Why
he's
would
a centre forward. Why would he not? Why would he be out there?
Matic is organising back here. He's pointing. He's telling players where to go.
So there's a quick one. If you look at Harry Maguire's movement, I'll play that in real time.
Harry Maguire in the orange boots.
Yes, in the orange boots, because I want to keep your eye on his little immediate sprint. So he thinks Bruno Fernandes is going to clip a ball quite centrally
to Donny van der Beek.
Or to Harry Maguire when he runs forward.
Absolutely.
I'll play that in real time so you can see the initial sprint there. Now it's right. What we're going to do?
Exactly.
What we're going to do? What plan have we got?
What they do is they split, don't they, Don? They split. Matic goes to the far side. Maguire goes to the left-hand side, and you look at Maguire's pointing.
And the Southampton players are all within about 10, 12 yards. They're all within 12 yards of each other.
Because they think the ball's coming in the box.
Yes,
They think options normally, with a minute to go, pumped inside the 18-yard box, or you work an angle for then it to go long.
Exactly.
That's the options.
Either one
that's
of
the
those.
normal protocol, isn't it?
Absolutely. But if you can keep an eye, Don will play this on. He's pointing and he's telling Matic where to go. And if you watch Maguire and watch where the ball goes and watch Maguire, there's a slight little nudge in there as well, a little bit of a block, a bit of acting as well. There's the block there. It's a minuscule block, Don, but it's enough for Marcus Rashford to take a touch and put it into a dangerous area.
Well, once they've done that, shouldn't one of the Southampton players be aware that Rashford is the only one in attacking position?
But he's not the danger.
He's not the danger.
So Southampton players will look at that mark and think, who's the least dangerous player on the pitch now? It's Rashford.
Even though he might be able to get a cross in.
Well, yeah, because what you want is you've got Bednarek and you've got Vestergaard.
So you say you can swing it in by all means?
By all means. Vestergaard's the tallest centre-half in the league. So with a minute to go, we're not going to allow any little bits of play, anything through there, we're not going to allow it.
Yeah, bearing in mind, there's 4 players out here as well. So they've got players over, Southampton. They've got lots and lots of players over. So they're OK, they're fine.
That's the least of their worries at this present time. Only we know what happens after that.
Sure.
But normally, if you ask Southampton, would you set up like that again? 10 times out of 10 they would.
100%.
Okay. And then what we look at there is now the quick free kicks being taken. Now all of a sudden the movement is incredible. And you watch Cavani, he's just going to get across his marker, Dion, with pace against Vestergaard, who were absolutely, as I said, shattered, and they couldn't spot his movement.
Yeah, now Vestergaard, he's what I would call, his shoulders are down, they're down the pitch. So one shoulder's facing his goal and the other shoulder's facing Man United's goal. His shoulders should be across the pitch, like that, so he can see everything. He can't see where Cavani's coming from.
Cavani's got his number,
he can't
literally.
See it. Absolutely.
Literally
he
got
can
his number.
see the number 4, and he knows when I go, he won't be able to catch me. Too late, he's gone now. He's got 2 yards on him already. 2 yards already, never going to catch him.
Now it's all about the delivery, isn't it?
And it's the delivery and the execution is just... To score a goal, starting on the far post, getting across your man, heading it at the near post, is so difficult. So difficult.
See Nemanja Matic as well, just organising. Bottom of your screen. He's just organising, just in case something goes wrong. He's making sure Matic that we're on the cover.
In case for the counter.
Not like the shambles they showed in the Champions League, which would never ever happen. So he's looking at that, thinking on the cover. At 2-2, We've got out of jail.
Cavani's trying to look nonchalant, isn't he? Uninterested. 2-2's fine, isn't he? I'm not involved in this.
He knows exactly what's going on.
He's so smart, yeah.
Look at Donny van der Beek there saying, wait. They're all in it together. They know what they're doing.
They're scheming because there's balls that could be played. You know, that one along the floor to Donny van der Beek.
That would have been quite tempting, wouldn't it?
It would have been, but then the more tempting one, Mark, is Bruno Fernandes that can't do a little arc, but a little clip ball for Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
So a little clip ball over the top in there because he's good in the air.
In the air, yeah, exactly.
And then he's scheming, he's looking, Bruno Fernandes, he's checking his shoulders, he's looking at Cavani, he's looking at Lindelof. He's never going to play it to Fred because why would you in that scenario? And then at the very last second, he goes left.
The big problem that Southampton have in this situation is there's too many players doing nothing. Too many players not marking anybody. So what happens is you pass it, he'll do it. None of them do anything in the end. And it just becomes a very, very good ball in and a very good run as well. There's 4 players, there's 3 in front of Vestergaard that are doing nothing at all.
Yeah.
I'd love to know.
Who are probably feeling at that stage of the game, safety in numbers, and lots of us back.
Yeah.
I'd love to know if this whole combination in this move was pre-planned. Because I think it's off the cuff. But then I'm seeing things like the Maguire block-off on Gineppo. I'm seeing a block-off there, which is obviously pre-planned. So there's so much going on that I think it's one of them where you see Liverpool with Trent and they do their wide free kicks and their corners all off the cuff. I think that one from Bruno Fernandes was completely off the cuff.
I think it looks so off the cuff, but whenever Man United get a ball in an area like that, or even deeper down in the wing, you will see Cavani make a run.
Look at he's got 4. He's got 7, 3, and 4 around him, and none of them have responded, and he's off.
Correct, he's gone.
He's off.
It's incredible centre-forward play.
Brilliant.
They just have an instinct, don't they? Where's this ball going to come in? Highly unlikely that it would be flashed in that sort of area.
Correct, yeah. Because then the big lads, the big lads will come and clear that out.
Yeah, it's not going to reach him.
Not going to reach him.
Chris, is that little block off of Maguire or Walker-Peters, is that worth looking at again or not?
I think that's a magnifying glass and forensic analysis, to be honest with you, and it's not clear. I mean, when I look at it, you talk about the block up, I see the Southampton player actually pushing into the Man United player. We talk about clear and obvious. I don't think that's clear and obvious.
I don't think you can.
I mean, my question there with this is that something they would do on the training ground, or is that that goal that's scored? There's so much going on. I mean, I'm overloaded with information, and as a ref, you want to be in the right position to make a call, because if Cavani goes down, you need to know these things.
I think it's a hybrid, I think it's a hybrid because, as I said, the normal routine, you ask any players with 1 minute to go, where's that ball going? It's going long into the Southampton box. Worst ways they can head it is probably down to a Man United player. You then keep the ball alive, you get a shot, you get a corner, you keep the move alive. Once Bruno Fernandes plays that ball wide left to Rashford, that's when I think it's pre-planned. That's when Cavani makes his run. That's where Maguire's used his brain. Block Gineppo off, give Rashford a half a second more.
A lot of it becomes instinct, Don, doesn't it? A lot of it becomes instinct. How do I give my mate a bit more time? Get the ball to him with pace. I used to say, pass the ball, pass the time on. Quicker you pass the ball to your mate, the more time he's got. Simple as that. And that's what he did.
And even then it's unusual because you're taking Harry Maguire to be the block-off man.
Yes.
Normally he's the man in the box trying to score. So it's all a little bit of a conundrum.
It's very well done.
It is very well done.
It is.
Let's talk about what happened in the first half, because Southampton started so well. Ward-Prowse free kick, absolutely sensational. Absolutely. Really important win that for Manchester United. Let's take a short break, but in part 2 we'll reflect on the drama